So I'm the 3-year reigning champ because they've canceled it the last 2 years because of COVID. So I told them I want my name on there 3 years, not just 1 year.
Yep.
And they still won't tell me which bar that plaque hangs up in Montana. But this was probably, I've got a lot of memorable fish, but this was a carping one that this was the fish that won the tournament for us, because that tournament is a 2-day best fish of the day. You can have a team of 3. It has to be a hook. It has to be a mouth hook. It can't be any snags. You can't use any motor boats. It can only be, oars or kick tubes or pontoons or whatever. But it was the second day and the conditions sucked. I mean, this was like most people didn't get a fish the second day. And we had some small ones up at this lake. Usually you're fishing for 15 to 20 pound average carp. We had like 8-9 pounders. And so we were like, there's no way we're going to win. And the 2 guys I was with, Fish Hunter Chronicles and one of his friends, they left to go try another area. And I'm like, I'm going to stick to this area. And all of a sudden the wind died down and it's like 3 o'clock and we had to be away in at 5. I see this carp getting chased by 3 males. And I go, that's a freaking big female. I go, how can I get the fly in front of it? And so I'm 25 feet away. I can't remember. And I put on this bright pink egg with a squirmy wormy, the Squirminator, because the water was murky. And I'm like, I got to see this. And I did this like perfect cast right in front of it. It didn't spook. And I just strip, twitched. And then all of a sudden I saw the pink disappear, hook set, got her in the mouth. And I was just like stoked. But then it was complete chaos in the shallow water. And I finally get her calmed down. It's really, really grassy and reeds. I didn't want her to get off. And so I was really kind of horsing her more than I'm used to. Finally got it ready. So she was turning. I get my net off and I stick it between my legs because it had the long pole. So it was on my shoulder and then it was resting in the water so I could hurry and get it and then just scoop it.
Yep.
And I'm ready to go. And so I'm dragging her in and I'm watching it and I go to grab my net. And at that same time, a male came through my legs into my net and took off with my net.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, whoa. Like 1, my net's gone. And 2, I got this fish on that I knew she was probably 20 plus pounds. And it's just I'm watching my net just swim away. And I'm like, there's no freaking way. So I'm tromping through this like knee to thigh deep water, trying to not lose this fish while trying to chase my net. Finally get my net. And I realized that was smaller than the one I had on. So I dump him out and then get her back. And as I got the net right between my legs again, I hadn't learned my lesson. I turned her over and she's coming head first right at me. I grabbed my net. And as I scoop my net down, right then another male jumps in the net with her.
Oh, wow.
And their back dorsal fins cut my net.
Oh, no.
Like literally shredded the net so that my net's like, it's still kind of pieced together on the front and the back. But I'm like, I didn't realize that their back fins were sharp enough to cut those nets. But I guess the weight of both of them in the net cut it. So this is probably not my best fish handling day. I'm not proud of it, but I grabbed her by the freaking gill and just freaking threw her onto the shore. And I was just so pissed because now I had a mile hike to the truck. And instead of lugging her in a net and giving her, breaths in the water, I had to haul a tote full of water that was kind of cracked. And, so that was probably one of my most unique stories. And it actually ended when I got back to the truck to put her in the bigger water, she ended up laying eggs all over me too. So it was not a great day.
Yeah, what a day, man. That's crazy.
I've never had that happen. And I bet you most people wouldn't believe me if, it's one of those things that's just unreal that happened. But that's probably one of my most unique fishing stories.
That is the most unique fishing story we've heard.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of stories, man. That one's up there.
That's got it.
Like I still can remember watching my net swim away because it's one of those metal rising ones with the long, shaft. And I'm just because it just hit it just right and was kicking it and just I don't think that's going to be hard to beat one of these days maybe. But that's definitely one of the more memorable. And hey, we won the tournament. So
what did that fish weigh in at?
So when I weighed it on the shore, it was funny because I didn't realize this. She was 23.8 or 23.8 ounces. But by the time she weighed in, she was just under 20. So she spewed all her eggs, which I didn't realize they can have up to that amount of eggs in them.
That's a lot of eggs.
Yeah, they can have, from what I read, between 2 and 5 pounds of eggs.
Wow.
Get them, weigh them too. They came out of her.
That's
right.
Which is part of that.
So I had them all over my waders. They're still a stain because I didn't know that you had to get them off immediately.
Yes.
And then also we had to throw away the container we transported her to the weigh-in because it was just full. But at the same time, what are you going to do? The inhumane thing and sew it shut or something? I don't know.
Yes, we can't put duct tape around that one.
No, it was just because of how I landed it is what I think happened, or she was right in the middle. I don't know. But it was a fun. That's a great tournament. A lot of fun. David Boyd. That's what it is.
David
Carp Classic.
All right.